So here we are. This is the date is the May the 5th, 2025. And when I look at that, May 5, 2025, it's got this sort of ring to it. This is us in the southern hemisphere, of course, down under, and Australia, and coming to you. Last time we had a big session on what was going on was with Cifehtr, which I broke down to segments. You can catch that video, segmentation, here on this channel. It is cosmic. So we're waiting for our friend or friends to come through as we connect in with our divine team.
We are all present, dear friend, beloved. It is Cifehtr who speaks, yet Katumi and Kuan Yin. And we have the great council of many around us as well. And it is a full room, shall we say. Many energies are here in this time, in this moment. Friends that you have connected with over the many existences and experiences of life that you've had, that this one has had. But those that have been validated, those who have been tried and tested, as you would say, and to bring messages through, are here as well. It is indeed a time in your linearity that has been subjected to many crosshairs.
So what do you mean by that, my friend?
Oh, it is as if you are all in the target eyes, yes? That there are crosshairs pointing at you from left, right and centre. Some of you more than others. Especially those more in a conscious awareness of where they are heading, of what they are doing. This particular timeline, as we may refer to what Cifehtr said about this being a year of mastery, a year where it is a looping year. Either we finish the loop and we complete it, or we repeat it. Yes? It's a year to bring to completion many things in one's life, but at the same time there are those out there, the nefarious energies, the dark matter, the ones that would wish to destroy you. Now, I could get very descriptive and I could say the formless ones, the dark energy, the elite, the 1%ers, but let us just use the word nefarious, yes?
I like that word.
There are nefarious beings in physical form, energetic form, angelic form, that are here in the planet realm, in this realm that you call home, that are here to manipulate you, to enter into the disguise.
Excuse me, did you say the angelic form?
Yes. There are, I will get to the separation, yes? But I'm talking of the nefarious. They here are this realm to disguise themselves as well-meaning, good-natured, spiritual beings, channelers, teachers, gurus, grey-haired men and women who have lived through it all, been through this spiritual role to this spiritual role to this spiritual role, and they're still plowing in the field of spirituality, yes? Yet they regurgitate and regurgitate and regurgitate what was a valid point many, many years ago. And in some way, it still holds validity because truth is truth. And yet, if you take old truth and try to dress it up as new truth, it's still old truth. It still has a validity, but it's still old truth. And what happens when the nefarious ones find suitable men, women, who have walked their path, who are perhaps a little weary, who are wanting more followers, more of the younger people to follow them, to boost up their coffers or boost up their ratings, etc., etc. What happens is these manipulators will communicate with them, but it will be communicated in light, in love. And what happens is you find that there are those that will create seemingly good content, seemingly good, solid, backed up information. Because, well, you've got to trust them because they've been around for years and years and years. And remember when they said something very similar to this back then, and look, it's still the same today. Well, if what they said back then is still the same today, I would question, why has it not changed? Because, yes, mastery is always going to be present. And it is in the mastery of self that you will discern the nefarious manipulators, both energetic form and physical form, to those who are in righteous truth. Those who are, let us call them the nefarious, let's just say the do-gooders, yes? You have the do-gooders, and they are in energetic form, they are in spiritual form, they are in angelic form, they're in the form of men and women, they're all over the place, and they are there to uplift you, to encourage you, and yes, what they say sometimes in that encouragement can be repetitive, because you may need to hear something to encourage you in the same voice, in the same way, until it penetrates. But then 9 times out of 10, it is also given to you in a different voice, in a different prescription, if I can call it that. And so, this past few months, and I'm even going to say, let us delve back into the good year of 2024. There have been those that have been so on point with their journey, on point with their focus of where they're heading. They've laid it out, they've plotted it, they know exactly what their purpose is, where their purpose is going to take them. They may be a little bit, shall we say, opaque in the manifestation of how it's all going to turn out, but they have a clear vision. They know the steps to implement to get to where they need to be. They have a vision. And something is coming, or has come, or may yet come, to disrail them, to throw them off focus, to hit the ship that they're on with a tsunami wave that completely disrupts where they're at. Takes their eyes off the vision, takes their heart off the horizon, and puts their eyes and hearts and energy into fear. Why did this happen to me? What's going on? I thought I was safe, etc., etc. And this is because we're in a turning. We're in a place where we're not quite on a plateau. We're not quite on an upward arc or a downward arc. We're in a little bit of a bumpy ride where it's up and down. This is just the beginning. And I'm not talking of your financials and your global and your political. I couldn't really give a toss about that. Now, you might say to me, oh, but Cifehtr, that's, the touch. No. You must realize that any political party is part of the same game plan. It doesn't matter if it's left or right, side left, right left, back left, front right, left, back right. It doesn't matter what the label they call them, how big they are. It's part of the same organization. Let's not even go bird with 2 wings. It is the same organization out to control you, out to make you something that you are not. And when you buy into that organization, when you buy into that organism, you give away what's in here. Now you could say to me, oh yes, but I have to vote. I have to be Democrat or Republican. I have to be Labour or Tory. I have to be this or that. Who said you have to be? Nobody. Nobody told you this is what you have to be. But it has been insinuated through years, decades, generations. This is how it should be. You must be one or the other. Well, why? What would it be that if you all realized that you are living men and women, and that you truly, the only thing above you is the Creator. The Creator that has given you every attribute of creative energy within you. Your breath was given to you before you were actually birthed or born, brought out into this world. Why do I say before? Because whilst you were still in the womb, your mother would breathe. And that air would go into your lungs, into your blood, through the amniotic fluid and sac and the umbilical cord. You would all have that. Yes? Or you might not have gone, but you were breathing in and out anyway. This is why when a child is brought forth, one of the first things is they clear the mucus, the fluid from the mouth and the lungs. Why? Because that's where the oxygen, the air, as well as through the umbilical cord, is put through. But I can get into the depths of that another time. The very breath that is in you comes from the divine. No man gave that to you. No man, as your mother pushed you out of the birth canal, and no doctor that grabbed hold of you and, okay, you now have permission to breathe, you can breathe now, therefore I give you breath. No, you instinctively took that, and that is an indication of independent, conscious awareness that your suit, even though it is a small baby, seemingly unaware and unconscious, unable to defend itself, unable to do anything for itself, but it knew, I am in control, I breathe. That is the spirit within. Spirit within is the indicator that you are a majority being. You are of the age of majority. It's only when you suddenly get to 18, 19 and nobody's told you that at that age you can go and claim rightfully from the authorities around you who you truly are. Your ownership of self. Take back what is yours. No, they give you a number on a little certificate, and that's your stall number, that's your shelf number, that's your stock number. But again, I'm not trying to get into that conspiracy. What I'm trying to say...
It's not a conspiracy, my friend.
I know, but you know what I'm trying to say. So I'm not trying to get down too far into that rabbit hole at the moment.
Okay.
If the men and women, the living men and women, and every one of you are living beings, and I say you are living because you're conscious, you're breathing, you're not zombies yet.
Yet?
I say yet, because there will come a time where many, out of desperation or lack of hope, may give up their right to life, as in their true connection to the divine. But that is another discussion at another time. I know I'm bringing forward many different things at this particular initial conversation, but you'll get to where we're going. Just stay with me.
I'm here.
If the men and women, the living men and women, rise up and say, we do not need to be governed, told what to do, by those who truly have no authority over you. Now, and I mean this sincerely. I'm not trying to incite anything. I'm not trying to teach out of hand and out of school, but you send a child, you have a child in your home, and that child is rebellious. What is the first thing the parent says? I have authority over you. I'm your parent. You will listen to me. Well, why should that child listen to you? Just because you have declared that you are the boss of them. Wouldn't it rather be a case of, listen to me, I have life experience in this particular area. If you continue in this way, this is what will happen. This is a potential of what could happen to you. Now, I know parents out there, just hear me out. Every child needs boundaries. Every child needs to know that there are consequences when those boundaries are broken. This gentle parenting, this bubble wrap generation, this, they can't do any wrong, never say no to them, I'm going to say to you right now, is a load of BS. Because if you do not give a child boundaries, when they grow up, they are not going to know where they stand in life. It's important. It's honorable that a child is given honor, given boundaries, given respect by their parent. Because in return, that child will respect, honor, and abide by the boundaries. Now, they will be taught. I'm not saying it's gently and it's okay. No. There need to be consequences for certain behaviors. But imagine this. If that is where the child starts to learn that they have to always submit. Always submit, always submit. So they grow up, they go to school. Now all of a sudden it's the headmaster, the government of the school. And underneath the headmaster are all the teachers. And these teachers, they have authority. And you must listen to them. Because if you don't listen to the teachers, there are consequences. Now this is how it used to be. Nowadays, teachers have no authority. In fact, the students are, in many cases, they are violent towards the teachers. And if the teachers do stand up, they are the ones that get punished, not the student, which I believe is a little bit reflective of this bubble wrap generation of never saying no to them. I believe every child should learn what to do and how to handle being told no. Not every child needs to be a winner. Because if you do not know how to lose in life, you will never know how to win. And that goes for every single being listening to this. If you do not know how to handle losing at something, you will not know how to handle winning at something. You need to know the difference, and you need to know how it is to implement things in your life to activate that winning streak, that winning energy, that manifestation. Because nothing comes to you handed on a platter. Not even in manifestation. Because in manifestation you need to know, you need to think, you need to speak, you need to know how to activate it It's not just, oh, I want that, so I'm going to have it. If it comes to you that easily, I would be very suspicious of the energy that brings it to you. Because the universe, whilst it is open and knows no right from wrong, it does not say this is evil and this is good. It does look upon the content and the intent of the manifestation of the heart, of what it is. And whilst there is, like a dollar note can either be used for good or for bad by the one that holds it. When it was provided to you by the universe didn't say, now go use it for evil or go use it for good. It provided what was there. But when things come too easily, that there is no consideration, no actual activation in what is being done, no co-creative energy, I would seriously ask, what is the energy behind this that is supplying and giving me these things? What is it wanting back? Because it will ask for something back, eventually. When we stand up and we recognize that I, the individual, I'm a being with a spirit. I'm a spirit inside a suit. And that the only higher authority is the Creator. What that does is it makes me aware that in order to honor myself, I must honor others. But I have to honor this individual first. I must learn to respect this individual. And that immediately activates respect and honor to others. If I don't want this construct that I'm in to be harmed, then I would not harm another construct. And this is how we self-govern. This is how we come to a unity. Yes, we will come to community. Yes, we will come to a place of being of unified vision and thought. And there will be groups that come together. And yes, there will probably naturally come a cyclic placement of elders that rotate throughout the community. It's not one individual that rules with an iron fist, that gets voted in. So this is what I'm saying, your political realm, if you could learn to do away with it, if you could learn to do away with the self-imposed authorities and learn to look after your own living soul, your own living manifest creation, which is the very vessel you live in, you may yet realize how strong a species you are. But it's not, I can say these words, but unless you truly comprehend them, and when I say comprehend it, I mean you look at it, you rip it apart, you put it back together, and you come to an inner knowing that it's not rebellious going out, no, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. It's coming into that place of peace and coming and operating singularity here and taking back this piece of your soul, this piece of your land, this piece of who you are. And then you join others. No, I'm not preaching or teaching what you call anarchy. I'm just speaking the truth of what is truly in the hearts of every living soul. Because it's written there. You've just been blinded by the so many influences over the years, over the decades, over the generations, that you need to be subservient to something else. So you can let the cat in.
I called him. I called the little bugger and he didn't come.
He feels the energy. He wants to be in the energy. So excuse that for a few moments, my friend. But know this. to get back to this particular frame where we're all in, there are many that have felt this attack. And they do not know where it comes from. This is why I was alluding earlier to the nefarious, manipulative, dark energies that come in the disguise of everything that you want, everything that you feel you need. Because you've been taught that you cannot manifest it on yourself. You cannot manifest it with your own co-creative energy with the divine creator. You've been taught to depend on other energies, depend on other beings, depend on etc., etc. Now, there's nothing wrong with going out, trying something and saying, oh, I'm not sure if I got this right. Hang on, I know if so-and-so and so-and-so, they've done this before, or they've done something similar. I'm going to go and talk to them. I'm going to learn from them. I'm going to talk about various things. Now, that is not being dependent. That's being wise. That's being knowledgeable. That's being open to being taught. But you may hear what they have to say and go, well, yeah, that worked for them, but it doesn't feel right for me. Now, therein kicks immediately your higher consciousness. You're not rebelling against something. You're not denying something, but you're realizing that you can actually say no or yes to what is put before you. And if anything is deposited in front of you this year, it is this. Learn to say yes and no according to what your higher self reveals to you. Don't just say yes to something or no to something because you don't understand it. You don't comprehend the very concept of what is being put before you. If you don't realize the depth of what has been shared with you, ask questions. If you don't get the answers you're looking for from those that you're asking the questions from, go elsewhere until you do find the answers. But when you talk to people, when you talk to individuals that have knowledge, listen with two ears and speak with one mouth. Yes? So in other words, shut the mouth and listen. Let them teach you. When you've heard what they've got to say, and you've churned it over in yourself, and you've actually looked at it and felt into it, and you still don't comprehend it, then you go back and say, what about this? And what about that? And how is this? And how is that? Because that is a good student. A good student will take what has been given, take it away and read and study, research, ruminate over it, and then go back and say, right, I've done this, I've discovered that, this I believe, this can work, but this over here, WTF is going on over here. What do you mean by this? Why doesn't this fit with any of the other stuff? And that opens up to discussion, to learning, to critical thinking. Instead of being reactive all the time in discussions, learn to be responsive. Learn to be a listener. Because in this coming time, you will have to hear before you open the mouth. It's very important. Things are going to be coming at you in this coming year in a form of an attack, in a form of pleasantries. The energy is going to be flying at you. Some of it's going to be easily recognizable. Oh, I'm staying away from that. That's a load of BS. And then there's going to be other stuff that's going to be presented to you. It's going to come across your Facebook page, your social media pages. It's going to come through your friends. You're going to hear people talking about it, and you're going to go, oh, that's really intriguing. What's going on there? Because it's gentle, and it's silky, and it's smooth, and it's easy to take hold of. be careful. Not everything presented in that way is actually for you. It's not actually for anyone. It's a silken web. And webs, as you know, they're shiny. Depending on which spider has spun it, it's silvery or it's gold. It's shiny, but the minute you get into it, you're stuck. So be careful. Be careful what you allow your energy to connect to. There's been a swathe of fluctuations of energy, and it's actually been an amazing thing that I've heard in the energies, in your realm, the repetitiveness of this energy swathe that's coming in, this energy that is engulfing us, and the fact that it's been a little bit compressed, and all of this is because the ascended masters and all the angelics and the higher energies, they're all coming in to help us today, tomorrow, this week. My friends, that exact same conversation was discussed in 2012 and then 2015 and sporadically through the other times until now. In fact, I would say every couple of years it's coming in, just like the Lion's Gate. Every time that the Leo gets into orbit and the astrology charts they're all like, the Lion's Gate, the energy's coming through. It's going to be like... Now, I'm not denying that there is a portal of energy. I'm not saying that there are those of you out there that are wrong. I'm saying that you can't keep repeating the same thing. And energy changes. I change. I am not the same energy that I was when I first came through after my initiation into being an ascended master, after my ascension. I am not the same being energetically that I was then, all those decades, years of generations ago. I'm different. Why? Because even though I'm energy, I learn, I absorb, I observe, I listen, and I allow myself to grow, to discover the various connective forces that are required to be in that which is the life of the energetic being. So if you keep hearing the same static repeated, ask yourself, why? Why is there no variance? Why is there no difference? And if I may ask you, especially those of you who were conscious and awake in 2020, 2015, 2020, all of these other times when the portals were opened and we ascended masters, etc., were coming through, was it dense to the point where it felt like it was bone-breaking hard? I don't think so. I don't think when we came through at those times to assist mankind, I don't believe that the intensity of what was coming through was so thick and dense that it caused dilemmas in all of you. Especially the sensitive ones. No. When something happens where you are experiencing an energy shift and it causes discomfort in the physicality to the point where there were some of you that were literally physically ill, this wasn't a purge. You weren't purging something. You were under attack. But because it was put in such nice wording. Oh, there's energy coming through to help us. Oh, there's this coming through. How many of you went, hold on, I'm going to test the messenger. I'm going to test this information. Or did you just go, oh, I'm open. Oh, yes, come and help me. Oh, yes, I receive it. Oh, yes. I'm not trying to mock you. I'm not trying to be dismissive. What I am hoping to do is to make you aware that energy shifts and changes. When we speak, when Katumi, myself, Kuan Yin, when the energies come to Louise and say, we have a message, some of it may sound similar, but it should be different enough for you to go, it sounds like that, but there's new information. What's the new information? And if there is no new information, we will actually say, now you've heard this before, and the only reason we're repeating it is because you need to hear it. And I haven't had to do that for a while. Am I correct, Heather?
Yep, that's true. So what's the new information?
Oh, we're getting there.
I know.
So 2025 is a year where dragon energy or snake energy, you see that it's quite fluid, that energy, yes? Because if you look at the ancient imagery of a dragon, it looks like a snake with legs, especially the Oriental imagery. Yet you come to Wales and the Celtics, and the dragons are more beefy, fire-breathing, solid, dinosaur-y type creatures with wings. So you have to say, well, where in my, I'll use the word genetics, yes? Where in my genetics do I connect to the dragon or the snake dragon energy? The Ouroboros is either a dragon or a snake that's eating its own tail, which indicates that eternal looping. We need to be aware, dear ones, of the energy that we are connecting with more than ever at this particular time of your frequency, of your linearity. This year, you need to know what you're connecting to. Don't just accept it because somebody is coming out there going, oh, this is all light and love and bubbles and whatever. Question what I'm telling you. I welcome the question. You must question the energy of the message. Question the messenger. Because if you simply accept what has been regurgitated out to you, then I'm afraid you are solely responsible for what occurs in your creative life. Because you allow it, you accept it, and you own it. But if things start happening around you and you haven't accepted it, you may have heard it. And you may have paused it. You might have said, I don't quite get this. I'm pausing it. I may have heard it. Yes, it's in my energy, but I'm questioning it. That means that you've put a pause. And things start happening to your arena, to your domain, to your energy field. You have every right to demand in the universal laws it cease and desist. When energetic things start happening to your life and you have not accepted the message nor the messenger, you've said, I hear you, but I'm questioning. I'm not 100% behind you. It has no right to affect and to activate in your life yet. Only does that when you accept it. Think of it as a contract. You don't take ownership of anything that has been offered to you, and they don't give it to you until you sign over something. Yes? So, why do you just glibly accept something that is spoken over you? I'm asking hard questions because we're in a time where I believe we're talking to mature energy beings, yes? Talking to mature beings, ones who have been on the journey for a while. A good few decades, maybe. Oh, yes, sir. I see those who are young, and I mean young by that you're just starting out on your journey. And this may sound a little deep for you. It may sound like, what the blazes? But I want you to hear my heart, all of you. As Saint Germain, as a Dharma Saint Germain, as Cifehtr, I have watched mankind. I've watched you go through so many evolutions. And I've seen you be led astray, and I've seen you come back. Wounded at times, but strong, determined. You're going to make a difference in your life. Like this little one, determined to make itself known. Determined to be heard. Why? Because it wants to be attended to. It wants love. It wants attention. It loves the energy. So why not make the most of it? It's the healing room. It loves the healing room. Be attentive to the energy and only open up to what you know and hear, what you intuitively feel. This is for me. Now, you may not know how to use your intuition yet. So drop into your gut. If you get the squirrelies in the gut, run. Walk away. If you get that, what I call the upside down butterflies, that's like that apprehension, like, oh, this could be good, but I'm a bit nervous. Stay. Feel into it. Ask questions. Don't just blindly accept it, but something's telling you this could potentially be good. If you get those like, yes, butterflies are flying in formation, and you're getting the goosebumps, like Spirit is telling you something, just go for it. Then start paying attention. But still, question. Don't just glibly open up and go, oh, I've got goosebumps, I'm going to go for it. Question, question, question. Put parameters. You don't want to end up under attack. And yes, I remember very clearly saying, probably back in around the 2010 period, that the testings were done. This was the time of peace. It was a time of learning. It was a time of expansion. And to beat your swords into plowshares and to become peaceful energies. And that was good for a while because there was a unified time of peace. However, as what happens with peace, those who didn't know the war, didn't know the battle, were born or grew up in the peace, yes? All of a sudden they become the ones that are manipulated. They're the ones that are becoming confused. They're the ones that are becoming caught up in all the drama of, oh, look at this, oh, look at that, it's a shiny, 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 oh, shiny. And they are unable to discern because the old teachers that taught how to sharpen your sword have fallen by the wayside because they felt their job was done. This is not a judgment on them. They felt their job was done. Or perhaps it's just that their time on this plane has come to an end and they have elevated. They have moved on. We have welcomed many into this space, making room for new teachers, true teachers, who have experienced how to defend and how to sharpen one's tools, to now begin to teach those who have no idea how to defend themselves against an onslaught of a nefarious enemy that comes through media and social media and digital and gossip and friends who well-meaning, because it will come through all avenues. And if they are spiritual but not spiritually able, in other words, they know that there's supposed to be this spiritual protection or armory that they could use, but if they have no one to teach them how to draw their sword and test how sharp or blunt it is, how to put on that helmet, how to put on the breastplate, how to use the shield, how to protect their shins and their feet. If they don't know how to use this, then we need to raise up new teachers who are aware of these things and who are, and I'm going to use a word I really don't like using, but who are humble, aware that they cannot do it themselves, and rely heavily on their energy teams, their guides, their ancestors, to show them how to teach those that are coming up. Because 2025, 2026, 2027 are years that we, as living souls, need to be conscious, need to be aware that attacks will be made. Because if they can cut you off at the ankles, disable you, bring you into despondency, bring you into a place of low self-esteem, they will. When I say they, I am referring to the dark energies, to the nefarious ones, to those energies that wish nothing more than to strip the very God spot from you. And how do they do that? By getting you to believe that you're worthless, that you're no good, that you can't achieve anything, that you have to follow. You have to be rich to be successful. You have to be have written X many books to be successful. You have to have a following of X many thousand to be successful. And if you don't have that, then you're nothing, right? I mean, come on. Well, I don't think that's actually correct. What I do believe is that when you're pure of heart, when you come from a place in the heart that you are connected to knowing that it doesn't matter if there is someone on the left or the right, or the left or the right, up or down, but you yourself are connected to the divine creator. You're grounded in the energy of Denier. You are wrapped in the truth of who you are. You are a being of co-creational powers. And that you are learning how to co-create, how to manifest, because you're listening to the voice of that which is the divine creator. Whether it comes through as the soft feminine or the strong masculine, it's a combined energy. Because the divine has, it just is. It is how you hear it. It is not a god or goddess, it is just the divine. All right? And when you choose to tune in, you suddenly realize that when you go up and you connect, the heart mind is the creator self. And it is in this place that you start to birth. You plant the seed of conception of what it is that you're manifesting. You plant the seed and you begin to water by thought, by vision, by dream, imagination. You speak it softly to yourself until you know you're in the right timing and you bring it forth. You manifest it into this world. Now, it's not a case of you at times sitting there and straining and pushing and trying to get it out there. No, it could just be that you are in that place where you see it being made and it's forming in front of you. You dream of it every night. It's so real to you. And one day you wake up in the universe, that field of energy around us that hears your thoughts and your words and creates with you, suddenly presents you with exactly what it is that you have been creating. Now hear me. That works for positive and negative. So what you focus on will come into your life. It will come into you. So be careful what you focus your energy on, what you dream about, what you manifest, that's just a warning. Because I want you to know that there is power in your words, power in your thoughts, power in your creation. You are a powerful being. But if you can learn how to do this right, if you can learn that there is nobody that you have to bow down to, you do not have to sell your soul to anybody, you do not have to sign your life away in blood, you are simply standing in the knowledge that you are a creature of the divine. You are a spirit being. And you happen at this time, in this timeline, to be present on this realm that's undergoing a huge dynamic shift. Now there are those that will call it the seven seals, that there is 2 seals broken going into the 3rd seal. There are others that will say it's a polar shift. There are others that will call it something else. But this world is heading towards a reset. It is heading towards such a change that it will, for those who are alive at that time, it will bring you to your knees. And some of you will be unable to comprehend the fullness of what's going on and want to end it all right there and then, because it will be so terrifying. And there are others that will look at this and go, I've been warned about this. I've made plans. And so you take action. And unfortunately, those nefarious 1%ers are busy right now, and they have been for the last 20 to 30 years, even longer. They have been creating burrows like rats in the ground, where they will burrow themselves away, protecting themselves from the outfall, so that when everything at the world is peaceful, they will come back up and they will start again. And they will attempt yet again to gather those who have survived this reset and corral them and try to convince them that they are the masters, that they are the ones that they can give you medicine and they can give you this and they can give you that. Why? Because they've taken it and they've installed it down in their burrows. They have the computers and the medications and the seeds and water, everything. They're making themselves very comfortable, thank you very much. And when they come back out, they will want you to believe that they're gods because they can provide all of this. Just remember this story. In fact, write it down. Keep it with you. Pass it through the generations so that when it does happen, you can look at it and go, hang on, we were warned about this. These aren't gods. These are the 1%ers. These are the ones that want to control us. These are the ones that controlled our ancestors. We're not going to let that happen again. Let's take some water. It's a lot to take in. I'm going to... Do I continue or should I pause?
Let's have a pause.
Let's have a pause. What I'm going to do, my friends, is I'm going to end this particular conversation. And here's my challenge to you. There's a lot of information I've shared. And some of it, I've started a conversation and I haven't quite finished it. And you may think, oh, it's because they've forgotten. No, 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 no. I know very well what I haven't finished. I'm doing that because I want you to listen, to question, and to write comments. Hey, you said such and such and such at X many minutes. What do you mean? Why didn't you finish this? What do you mean by that? Or, hey, I've heard something similar. I've heard this perspective. What do you think? I'm going to ask you to be open. And of course, we're going to find those out there who will say, oh, this is a load of rubbish. What a lot of blah, blah, blah. You're welcome. You're welcome. I can't stop you from what you want to think. It's your opinion. But remember, the words that you write are read by others. And the words that you write are words that will revisit you. Because remember, when I don't take them on and nobody else takes them on, they're floating and they are seeking a hook. They're seeking a ledge. They're seeking a home. And if they cannot find a home, they will return to where they were sown from. And the words you speak, if they are not edifying and helpful, they will return to you. And you will reap what you sow. It is an old adage. And I'm not being all religious on you. It is just a truth. I've been around a lot longer than any religion has been. And if you want to know how long, go and get my book. And yes, I strongly suggest many of you get that, because it fits in with what's been spoken. Pick my challenge up. Write to me. Put comments there. And we will take those comments and we will answer them. Perhaps in another conversation like this, or we will maybe just write an essay. I like to chat though, but yes, let's do that. All right. So we'll end it there and then we'll go on to a different subject maybe. Thank you.